video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs.
Both Lilith loops are actually fairly different from one another. If you pay attention, Human's been paying a lot more of an emphasis on the Mastemon variant, whereas Battle, I think we saw a Titamon coming out of his.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of tech. I did also see like a emergency program shutdown as well, which was a huge tech for some of these matchups that are very option card heavy.
Right. I think Emergency Program Shutdown is probably one of the most impactful option cards going into this national tournament. A lot of decks in the meta rely on their option cards in order to facilitate their game plans. Ice Wall, Vulcan Hammer, Atomic Blaster, Judges of the Blade, all these types of option cards. And so Emergency Program Shutdown is really huge. But all of that preface being said, talk about the match. We do have both players having a very similar starts, although Battle does have Ginkaku in his stack, whereas Human does not, but he is on the Lady Devimon, and he is going to discard the Labramon and the Ginkaku promote.
Yep, just going a little bit higher. Something that's interesting about promote is that it can digivolve on top of a level 4. So that's what you're doing here, and it's going to be interesting to see how the back and forth is. Having that Ginkakumon get the extra memory for this makes this just a digivolve for 2, which is great for cost. You got a block retaliation 2, which probably won't matter right now, but both just trying to make their stack and just kind of going from there.
Well, I think going into the Ginkaku promote on top of the Ginkaku previously kind of signifies the fact that Battle's hand may not be as good as he wants it to be. He may be trying to dig for an answer in that sense, because I don't really see a reason that you'd want to use your promote in that situation at the current moment, whereas you could have used it for fodder previously, but a Manoa Bellucci does end up being dropped.
Yeah, and this is kind of a tech, I would say. Not everyone likes to run Manoa. It is very expensive, but also being able to guarantee your 3 memory every turn is huge, especially when you start doing your later plays, and just helps you out a lot.
So somebody in chat asked, can you flip the top camera on the field so the field is right side up? Aren't they like pointing towards each other?
They are pointing to each other. I believe they look right. I think he's saying that he wants to see them both right side, like they're both.
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm gonna keep it.
I think you should keep it. But we do see Analog Youth actually mill away Manoa Bellucci, Analog Youth, and an Emergency Program Shutdown. So it's actually a very unfortunate mill right there. But regardless, that is still 3 cards in the trash for Human.
Yeah, getting that first 10 to trash is the first kind of milestone for a combo deck like this. Obviously, the hits for Analog Youth are very easy. You just have to hit a Digimon. So seeing, the options and tamers instead feels kind of bad, especially since they may be breaking a little bit, but it looks like they're still doing okay.
I never realized that True Pain Gaming is using my Pog face as an emote on his Twitch channel. For every subscriber you have, I demand a 5% cut, please. Thank you very much. But all joking aside, yeah, the Manoa is really interesting considering both players played, especially. Manoa is a memory tamer that does get, obviously sets you to 3. And normally it is used in Aeospawn style decks, but in the context of Lilith Loop, it's used only to facilitate the options, specifically the white options.
Yeah, and so this is specifically for Mega Digimon Fusion. Now, that is getting banned pretty much right after this tournament. We do have win rate 60% that comes out from the Classic Collection that, people are probably trying out with later, and it doesn't need a white tamer. You just need a tamer for it to work. So maybe we'll see Mats come back and get the recycling for it, but right now to have a white tamer that sets you to 3 kind of meets some conditions you kind of want.
Honestly, I don't think Purple Mat is gonna come back. Honestly, I actually think Black Izzy is a better tamer in purple than Purple Mat is.
I can see that.
Purple Mat is so underwhelming for what he actually does, whereas Izzy, at least you can stack your deck and try to fix your consistency to a certain degree. I would take that over what Matt usually offers. But Lady Devimon is going to swing into the Analog Youth and reveal a Zackery, Ginkaku, and I'm not sure promote. It's a promote.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be hosting finals on this channel. This is currently for the 3rd place. This is to determine who wins the Metal Greymon. And then the match after this will be the finals. Both players in the finals are going to Worlds.
Yeah, so it will be directly right here.
That's true. Black Izzy can scare your opponent with Ultimate Fist or Ultimate Flare and Fists.
And also, like the like a really niche case is that Rebellion is also a black Digimon, which a lot of people run. So you can get that extra draw if it comes up like maybe once every once in a while, but that is synergy.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about Izzy Joe. I'm strictly talking
Oh,
about Memory Tamer
strictly Izzy. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, so I am
strictly
wrong.
Memory Tamer Izzy. No, we don't play no games. Okay.
Playing another Ghazi though, so there's two
I
there.
think
That
Ghazi is
is,
super huge in the mirror
yeah.
because it denies the Jack raid from resolving, and I mean that's what your entire deck's about, right?
Mhm.
Spamming Jack raids.
Now you can't
And all,
digivolve on top of the Kinkakumon to swing and get rid of one of them, but two of them is
Mhm.
just pretty difficult to get rid of and keep it your turn.
Yeah, definitely really good on humans' part to opt into the double Ghazi, knowing what the mirror holds. I will say though, I will definitely say it's very interesting that neither player has decided to go into their mega at this current moment. Both players understand what is at stake, and they don't want to overcommit at this point, because if you overcommit and you aren't able to establish enough of tempo, then that's just really bad, because then your opponent is able to recapitalize on that. And then the Lady Devimon, of course, coming on top of the King Kaku to do what you just said, right? It's probably going to swing and pop a Gazimon.
And you can even trade with Lady Devs. I mean, you already have another level 5 established with your Rebellion, so you're kind of winning the race if you do that trade.
Yeah, I definitely can see that happening. Arguably, on the other flip side, he could try and lock out this Lady Devimon. He could try to lock out his opponent and prevent Lilithmon from happening. I don't think this is 10 and trash yet, so.
Yeah, but it looks
But
like, yeah, that
he
is
will
the
end up
case.
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is for third place, chat.
Yeah.
So third and fourth are competing with Lilith Loop mirrors. First and second are Gabubond mirrors.
Yeah, and so we note with first and second, those are our guaranteed finalists for Worlds for North America. So this is more for the extra prizing that third place gets, including the trophy and promo and such.
Right. And so it is now Human's turn. Human has 2 memory to play with after his opponent set up another King Kaku. King Kaku is probably going to come for this Gazimon relatively soon.
And that's what's so easy with having the Manoa. It just means that you can go from a level 4 to a level 5, guaranteed, and keep it your turn.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot of mileage right here. Lady Devimon is not going to pass the turn, actually. The reason being because Ginkakumon is underneath Lady Devimon. Ginkaku gives you an additional memory whenever you discard from effect. And Lady Devimon is, of course, discarding by effect. So it is actually a 2-cost Digivolution on the Lady Devimon.
Yeah. So going back to 0. So, could do a, double Jack raid.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, this is not enough to go into Lilithmon unless we cast a
Oh,
third Jack
no,
raid. Okay,
third Jack raid.
There we have it. Third Jack raid has appeared.
When
Now,
you see the good cards, you play the good cards.
I don't know about you, Egman, but I am a firm believer that the higher rarity your deck is, the more likely you are to be bestowed by Lady Luck. How do you feel about that? Seeing as there's the max rarity Lilithmon.
Well, it makes sense why I don't do as well, because I try to make as many decks as I can with the same budget. So, like, I will agree with that to make myself look better, if that makes sense. Like, to make my humble appearances look a little bit better. But yeah, doing those Jack raids, you do get that extra memory because that Lilithmon is out. Going into the win rate 60%, discarding a purple to go into the Zwart for 2 more and keeping it your turn. This is huge for the turn, especially since you can swing with that Zwart. You're able to pop the Rebellion and play 2 cards from your trash. And now let's see what the choices are.
Well, it looks like he has quite a bit, and I'd imagine one of them is going to be the Lady Devimon that was previously destroyed, and maybe a Gazimon, because then, the Gazimon is just going to stick and be very problematic, and what do you know, it is Lady Devimon and Gazimon, so that Lady Devimon could easily bridge into another Lilithmon if necessary. And Yep, there's the Zwart. It's going to swing. It's going to destroy a Rebellion, and it's going to bounce the Lilithmon back to Human's hand, and it does reveal another Lilithmon in the security check. But of course, Omnimon Zwart is a 15,000 beat stick, so it will not be going down. And if you guys notice, it used win rate to evolve into the Omnimon Zwart, meaning that it will not go to the bottom of the deck at the end of the turn. So this is a very scary position to be in if you are battle.
Yeah, and pretty much it's just a race on who can set up first, and we do kind of plays like this, it really prevents your opponent from setting up as well.
Yeah, I definitely What are your outs in this situation if you're battle? Well, you Digivolve for 3 into your level 5, and then it's probably not happening that you're going into your Lilithmon and you're staring down the face of, Lethal. So I think it's bad.
I don't think there's much based on seeing this deck all weekend that can really, get you out. The double Gauzy makes it almost impossible. If there's just
Right.
one, maybe, but two, no way.
Right, because with the Gazimon, what that ends up doing is that even if you hit Zackery in security, the Zackery will not end up giving you the extra 2 memory because of the Gazimon, little rodent.
Yeah, because right now you're swinging, you can discard a card. With the Kinkakumon, you can pop one of them. But since 2 of them are out there, you can't Jack Raid your way up to getting to your Lilithmon.
Okay, and speak of the devil, it is Jack Raid. Oh man, well that is one way to end this turn.
Yeah, well, just drawing from Pseudomons from the discard, but yeah, you are ending your turn. Yeah, judges making sure that I think it's a mandatory. It's saying that you missed it, so you can't. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna scoop. I mean that's fair too. I think.
Yeah.
I think you're in a really bad position.
Yeah, definitely. After the board has already come online for a human, it's definitely just a really rough position.
Yeah, and seeing those Jack Raid's probably one of, if not the only, kind of good security card that are in these decks. You do have some tamers that are fine. There's also the option card that lets you play from trash, which can sometimes come up, but it's really you just kind of hoping you see one Jack Raid in there when it really counts.
Yeah, but going into game 2, the players now have to. Well, you now have the choice whether you want to go first or second, right? So it's a matter of whether you want to give your opponent memory to establish. You play a 3 cost or a 2 cost on turn 1, and your opponent has that to play off of, or you decide to go second and piggyback off your opponent. Going first allows you to accelerate to get into loop, whereas going second is you get that extra draw. You can piggyback off what your opponent gives you. I don't know. If you had to make a prediction right now, Eggman, first or second for battle? Yes. What do you think?
When I play Lilith, I normally like to go against second, but obviously the extra card just means a lot. We saw some kind of weird and awkward turns in the middle of this game because they weren't able to see the pieces they were needing, and just helping that consistency, I think. And honestly, based on my own experience, whoever goes, going second means you have a little bit more of a chance to get up to your chain, but it's I don't know. I would be hard pressed to say one or the other.
Okay, if I had to make a prediction, I think he's gonna go second.
Okay.
I think Battle's gonna go second. That is my prediction.
Okay. Then I'll take the opposite. So someone has to.
Oh, he went first.
Aha!
I lost to Eggman.
Let's go.
All right. Well,
easy.
Yeah, Tasty. This is still loop versus loop. And once again, thank you so much to Espira and Tasty for helping out with all the technical work. As I know Espira commentated as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Espira was responsible for the overlays and everything that you guys are seeing on the screen. So really good job right there.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the hard work.
Yeah, for sure. All right. And wow, we're starting off really fast. Analog, the Takumi Aiba, Manawa Bellucci, and the Analog Youth. All 3 white tamers are currently on the board.
Yeah. There were, some people used to play like Matt and Ty sometimes, but it definitely has lost favor to like Analog Youth. Analog Youth coming out has really made this deck kind of, I think, being put on the map. It just does everything you want. It puts cards into your trash. It helps you find the pieces you're missing. It's a white tamer. It's so good.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that Analog Youth is probably one of the biggest buffs Lilith Loop received going into the EX1 format. Honestly, I think without Analog Youth, Lilith Loop may not have seen success to this degree, as well as win rate. Win rate is a really huge factor as well. Win rate has been giving Human a lot of success, as we've seen throughout the tournament, being able to keep your Zort on the table.
Yeah, and obviously one of the, I'd say, traditional main pieces for this deck is Mega Digimon Fusion, and that is gone. Do you think that, after that, do you think Lilith Loop still has a leg to stand on in the BT7 meta? Or...
Oh, yeah, 100%. Lilith Loop... So, okay, prior to Mega Digimon Fusion even being hit, Lilith Loop already had evolved into what was referred to as Cerberus Loop. That's using the Eismon engine and the Cerberus mons from BT4, and you basically just generate a bunch of bodies off of that.
Yeah.
And that deck on already was putting a lot of less emphasis on Lilithmon. You were putting less emphasis on going to 7 in general. So with this hit to MDF, we still will see Cerberus Loop, albeit a little bit weaker than the previous Japanese iteration. Still a very strong deck overall, and they still have access to Win Rate, and Win Rate is still a phenomenal card.
Yeah, and so of all the cards getting hit from this deck set, we have Mega Digimon Fusion, which is in both these decks. We have Ice Wall, which are going to be in the first and second decks. We have Reinforced Memory Boost, which we did have 2, I believe, security controls in the top 8 today. So a lot of those important cards are just going to be gone starting this tournament, at the end of this tournament.
Yeah, and I definitely think all 3 of those cards needed to go. Like, I think Bandai, or DigiCode design team rather, did a really good job hitting. I think every single card that got hit, including Savior and Eismon, were all problem cards, and so they did a really good job eliminating everything that would have been a problem.
So did they just played the sorry, for
Yeah,
I thought that was Lilithmon, or that was Massamon, not Lilithmon.
No, it is Lilithmon. Human has established Lilithmon first in the race. And there's this Zwart. We're just hard casting Zwart because, if you're this ahead, why not, right?
And
what
I mean,
it's going to mill Lady Debbie, Analog Youth, as well as, what is that? Lady Debbie. It's a second Lady Debbie. Yeah. But yeah, Ginkaku and Lady Debbie coming out for Human. And we're going to Digivolve into the Devimon blocker. Oh, wait. Oh. Uh-oh. Something happened in chat. Yeah, there are a ton of judges watching this game, you guys. So we're just gonna trust the judges to make the correct call.
Yeah, and we can't hear what the judges or the players are saying either. So
no, we can't.
But yeah, I think there are almost more judges than players in this
in
this lobby.
Yeah, there's quite a few judges.
All right, swinging in, being able to pop the Devimon. Again, we just see Ying on the bottom, just being able to set up his loop a lot quicker and really take off with it, and that just kind of gets a lot of momentum throughout the game. There's not a lot of board destruction in these matchups. It's really whoever can make the board quickly, and if you can't make it, you have to hope you can get a lot of promotes and rush getting that damage you need. But it's a tall task to ask for, I feel like, right now.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we have to realize is that because Zwart was gone into hard, not by the effective MDF, it is going to stick on the board and get a lot of value because there's not a lot that can actually remove the Zwart. Neither decks play hard option removal either, so nothing like that. No Hell's Gate is going to come out and save battle in this situation, but Rebellimon is primed and ready in that security, so it may be Battle's turn to start looping right after this.
Looks like they swung with the rookie, so they should be losing a memory too. And losing the security too, so going down to 3.
The emergency program shutdown coming out, which will that shuts down all of Battle's Jack raids.
Yeah, he should have lost the memory, but you're fine. We're going back to 3 with Manoa.
Yeah, all right. There is the Titamon, however.
Right, you don't have a Gazi out.
Do we have the Ginkaku promote with the Kinkaku to go back to 0? Because there is no
have
Ginkaku
one there.
In the stack. There is no Ginkaku in the stack for Titamon. So
we just dropped one, yeah. But...
and that's gonna pass the turn, unfortunately, over to Human.
Now, there's not like direct lethal on board right now, but there, obviously are a lot of ways to get there.
I mean, yeah, you definitely could just throw out a Ginkaku promote. Even if he is unable to achieve lethal from this position, he still is in the position to dominate the board state in terms of tempo, reduces opponent to 0 security, and then from there, it should be a game for Human.
Thinking in the think tank. And both these matches have gone super fast, so like we have barely any time of just like having that think. But swinging into security, discarding a with Gabumon, a Labramon, and hitting another Analog Youth, so that could help out. And it was Gazi, Rebelli, and a third card.
I almost want to say it was Impmon. I almost want to say it was Altered Impmon. I think I saw a glimpse of the black on the back.
Yeah, I do know he's running that, so I think you're correct.
That's true. Who wants the Ragna Lord mat? I forgot third place ends up getting the Ragna mat. What is in the finals? It is Gabubond versus Gabubond.
All right, swing with the Lady Dev.
Oh, it hits the
Ooh.
Omnimon Zwart. The one thing that would have killed the Omnimon Zwart.
And and another mirror right there. So if you can gain enough memory, you can either do do the promote. If you can get like a rookie out and digivolve on top of it with enough memory, that can also swing for game. But you need a bunch of jack rates for that to happen.
I mean, 2-cost Devimon, right?
Yeah, but you'll still need what, 3 more memory for that? So you need 3 jack rates.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You just have to have faith. It's fine.
I mean, he did that last game, so that's true. And I don't think we've seen any jack rates so far.
No, I don't believe he's. Oh, I mean, there's one jack rate in the trash for human right now. I think I see like barely a glimpse of the border. You see, like right next to win rate.
I've got old man eyes, so I can't confirm.
Oh, come on, Egman. you gotta. Come on, we're not old yet. You got a little bit of youth still in you.
I appreciate it.
All right, but he is just going to Digivolve into the Ginkakumon and pass the turn over to Battle. Battle does have the Titamon ready. Is Titamon able to make the comeback from this position?
He can. We will see if. I mean, you do have plays for you. You don't get the security attack +1 unless you get another discard off the Titamon.
Isn't that Gabumon in the source?
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, that is Gabumon in the source.
Once again, old man eyes. I promise you, they're not. I'm not joking. But you can go into your Zawart if you do Mega Digimon Fusion. Oh, but just
there is the Rebellion, so that is a blocker up on the board for Battle. But there still are 2 attacks coming out of the side of human.
And what you get, Sunamon will get a draw and a memory back. Maybe just digging for pieces you don't have. I mean, Mega Digimon Fusion can work, and you can trade Zords.
Yep, there's the.
That's a jack raid.
That's a jack raid. There's a jack raid again.
Double jack raid. Going to 3. Even win rate 60% would not get you there unless you got additional memory gain off the cards you played from it.
Somebody mentioned Mega Digimon Fusion in the judge packs, despite Mega Digimon Fusion being banned. It was for fun. It was for fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lilithmon will be able to grab back both jack raids, as I believe Battle does have the 10 in trash already.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so being able to recast those jack raids is pretty nice. You can never count Loop out of the question. Loop is always able to come back because of the insane power the Loop actually presents. We may still see a Mega Digimon Fusion coming right out of Battle.
Mm-hmm. And something else too, if you do a discard before you Digivolve onto a Zwart, you do keep that 2k boost, and that would be a 17k Zwart that could swing over the other Zwart.
So somebody mentioned in chat that Diego or Battle has his memory wrong, that he should have been at 0.
We have judges.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's at 3 now. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he just got corrected on there.
Yeah, definitely in this kind of situation. Your nerves are running high. All that fatigue from playing all day. Definitely. I don't blame the players for making mistakes. I'd probably do the same thing in their position.
I will say how I say it is that Lilithmon, for how many actions, how many cards do you think a Lilithmon has played over 20 hours, right? Like every match, you're playing like 50 cards, 50 to 100 cards. So multiply that by 20 hours, you're playing over 1,000 actions with this deck because it's very, very action based, and you do get that. But it looks like you do have the retaliation with that Lilithmon, so it is able to trade.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Zwart is now cleared off the board. We may see Titamon digivolving just very soon into that Omnimon Zwart.
Or just maybe a hard cast into a Gazi. Okay.
Will we see Gazimon into blocker Devimon right here? I imagine that might be Battle's case. Titamon is going to swing. Titamon with the Gabumon ESS. Draw 1, discard 1. Proxuno, gain +1 security attack. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has the MDF or win rate right now.
Yeah, and he's been digging a lot too, so you'd think it'd be somewhat close. All right, 2 checks. First check. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
You do not need to see that.
All right, and I think, yep, that's very, very unfortunate right there.
Yeah, and I mean, you just have that Ginkakumon just hanging out there, able to do that last damage it needs.
Yeah. Oh, at least Analog Youth will proc, gaining the 1 additional memory here.
I think it's already procced, hasn't it?
Was it? Oh.
I'm not sure. You need to play. I mean, you have ways. I don't know if there's a Vilemon or Devimon in drop for blocker, but unless you Digivolve on top of the Gazi, you're giving them quite a few, memory.
Well, we already know that he runs the Devimon blocker, and he also runs the Vilemon blocker.
Mm-hmm.
So he may just have that blocker to force a human to have. Well, there's the Underworld Calling. All right. So we do know he has Devimon in the trash already, so he will have the 1 blocker to try and tell human, hey, if you want to end the game on this turn, you better have the rush. You better have some way to remove.
Yeah, even then, like, it's such a big hill to climb back on. I think it's possible. Don't get me wrong, but it is a hill.
It is. It is quite the hill. Digivolving into the Lady Devimon with Ginkaku underneath again makes this into a 2 cost. Oh, and there is the promote.
But you have the Gazi out, so it does not. You do not get that memory back.
Yeah, no memory back for sure.
I don't think that this doesn't look like to me that they're ending the game this turn. They're going to probably swing with Lady Dev, able to hit over the Devimon, but
right. Nope, there goes the Devimon. Yeah, Gazimon does exist, so they weren't able to gain additional memory. Yeah, at this point, Battle does have 2 Digimon present in his situation, whereas Human only has the 1 Lady Devimon. He could, of course, end the turn with an additional Digimon on his board, or he could end his turn on a Mostemon, which we've previously seen him use quite a bit, or another Lilithmon.
Yeah, and his version doesn't write Tidymon, right? I've seen both these players so much I confused which one of 2 of text they're running, but yeah, Mostemon could be good. I mean, obviously if he had 1 more security, that'd be I think the automatic play. But having to hit your own security to get another body out is
Right.
dangerous.
Yeah, so I believe Human is only playing 3 Lilithmon and then 2 Mostemon. I believe that is his ratio. And
Gotcha.
I don't know Battle's ratio, but he will end the turn on the Gazimon, which means no.
That's gonna be tough.
No Jack Raid, no Jack Raids.
Yeah. All right, so you can do this into a promote for 1 and swing. Keep it your turn, pop the Gazi, and then you can start. Nope. Oh, yeah, that does not seem like. Yeah, there's a promote. And that is the scoop.
That is it. Yeah.
Happy was able to take it 2-0 in that Lilith Loop mirror match.
So, as the Bond player, if you're in the mirror, you want to be able to play off of your opponent giving you 3, right? It lets you set up map before your opponent does, Or not the map before your opponent does, but rather you piggyback off their map kind of situation.
Yeah, and like I don't know, because like I would say generically more aggressive matches. Like the base level is like, oh, I want to be aggressive, I want to be able to swing first, so I want to go first, right? But
Brent Sosa doesn't have a level 3. He manages to find but he's losing a Howling Memory Boost and a mat in the process of this. That's rough.
Definitely not the start you want. But once again, Davis turn 1 can, get a lot of results.
Yeah, at the bare minimum, it's a really good choke point, choking him here at 1, but the mat will pull him over to 2, which allows him to Digivolve if he has it. It is a Gabubond mirror. And there you have it. We do have the Octomon coming out for Chung then with the mat enabling this. Because of EX Gabubond, check top 3, add a Gabubond or a Tamer. Bond of Friendship is a valid target, but he opts to not grab Bond of Friendship potentially,
Mm-hmm.
which signifies, he has Bond already.
Yeah, because obviously Gabumons are way easier to find than the Bond itself. So, and we'll see if this Octomon lives. It does. Oh, Octomon's been a huge MVP for people who run it today.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you remember when people were all playing Cordramon and their Gabubond list?
Yes.
And
Guilty.
You did it, Egman? Oh, come on, man.
I won my locals. What do you want from me?
Okay, well, anyway, yeah. So people were on top of this, Cordramon hype train for Gabubon, and I sat here and I was like, "What? But Octomon, just slap him up, 7,000 DP. It's too thick." I talked to Dan Vang, and that's why he ended up playing the Burning Greymon, was to burn away the Octomon.
Really? I mean, it does get over it, which is very nice.
It is what, like 9,000 DP? So yeah, it will beat over the Octopus. But we do see that we're going into the Kendo Garurumon, actually. Kendo will not be able to swing over the Octopus, but it will bounce back the Gabumon.
Yeah, dude, a swing in, and it will live because it is another Gabumon. You do have, maybe you play another Tamer here. You kind of want to set up your Tamers again. And just another Davis, all right.
There's another Tamer. Oh, there goes an Ice Wall.
Yep.
That's what we commonly refer to over at the official Digimon Bandai Hoang Zero stream, Ice Wall Gaming.
And yeah, he sends a whole playset to the bottom of his deck. That's crazy.
But yeah, definitely, I would say this is a really rough position to be in if you are Brent Sosa, honestly.
Yeah, you've definitely lost a lot of momentum, and we're going to kind of see. We're looking at top 3 before you Digivolve in case there's one you want to go into. You get the mat, which is nice.
There goes Ice Wall and a Hammer.
2 playsets already. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's rough. That's actually pretty rough, honestly. I feel like a lot of the times the mirror boils down to who can Ice Wall better than the average player.
It really is. Like, Ice Wall is such a good deterrent for Ice Wall. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I definitely will say Ice Wall needed to go. Yep. Ice Wall needed to go.
Yeah, with just the way that the memory mechanics work with it, there's Gazimon and other kind of memory blockers don't work, which means that the counterplay is just literally not swinging sometimes, which feels bad.
I stand by the fact that Ice Wall unironically would have been balanced if either A, it could be blocked by memory blockers, B, it was not stackable, and C, if it costed 3.
I think the one thing that I would want to change my mind is it would not affect Digimon in raising, right? That's the thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It affects the player, not the Digimon that are already out, right? If you're able to say just all Digimon that are currently out on the board have that -2, but things you raise up, if you play with Rush, that might balance it out a little bit.
It's very similar to the ruling on I don't know if I'm allowed to say the game in question, but it starts with a Y and ends with an O. And there's a card that specifically affects the player and removes the card otherwise. So cards that would normally be immune to destruction by effects, it affects the player, so it actually yeets the card out of the picture.
Does it end in an O or does it end in an H? Because otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, true. It starts with a Y, ends with an H. The card I'm talking about starts with an N and ends with a U.
Yep, I know the one.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad we're on the same page. I think it ends in something like a Gearsu or something like that. Crazy, But yeah, double Matt coming right in. Matt Ishida going to give an additional 2 memory as well as draw 2 cards. But what? I don't think this is a bond angle. Could be wrong. Both players are sitting at 4 security at the current moment.
Yeah, if you had like the restand one, maybe, but you still have, if you have, I guess 2. Never mind. You're just going to do Betamon to kind of. Okay, Betamon's just to prevent like Ice Walls and Hammer Sparks from proccing. So just the Gabu, you're fine.
Yeah, definitely the Madoki Betamon is coming up clutch in the mirror, being able to deny any Hammer Spark shenanigans from coming out, as well as the security from bopping you on the head with the Ice Wall and whatnot. Betamon is a delicate plan on legs for the most part in the Gabubond mirror, I do agree.
Yeah, so double Hammer Strike going back up to 3. Why would you? I mean, I guess you can play 2 rookies if you really want to, so that might be the play. So,
you're pushing for lethal, right?
Yeah.
Because one of Gabubond's weaknesses is the inability to actually remove board efficiently, right? You're relying on cards like Rattlestar or Kaido's Breath. That's where Agubond kind of shines in that sense, is the fact that you have cards like Atomic Blaster, Geo Greymon, etc. So in the Gabubond mirror, if you're just flooding your board, what is the other Gabubond player going to do?
Ice Wall.
True. Why didn't I think about? Oh my
You
god!
walked right into it.
You're such a genius, Egman. But we do see the Kendo Garurumon coming down. This will remove one of the bodies. Will not remove the remaining 3.
Yep. So,
They have a 4.
go for it. Yeah, he's swinging in.
Yeah. Okay, but there is no Forbidden Trident, unfortunately, on the side of Brent Sosa. I know we know he doesn't run it in his list. Kendo Garurumon is unfortunately going to bite the dust as well. Octomon is the ultimate security check. It's nowhere near as mighty as 8mon, but hey, 7,000 DP is still pretty good.
It is super good, which is the feature card of the day. Look at that right there. So playing their own Betamon, but that is not an Ice Wall. You are in trouble.
Yep, so currently, I'd imagine... Chungman has the hybrid in his hand. Because of the Betamon having no sources, it did mean that the Sorojo will give an additional team memory, setting him to 5.
And swing in with our boy Octo. Drawing the card.
We out here Octo gaming. Bond of Friendship. The octopus finally does go down.
Oh my gosh, you hate to see it. You won, but at what cost?
All right, and then Betamon is going to go in, and then I assume we have the hybrid prepped. And there's the Matt Ishida, and there is the Lobomon, and that game 1 going over to Chungman.
Yeah, so 1 win away from becoming the North American champion for 2021.
Isn't it 2022?
It's the 2021 season, right?
Oh, I was just saying because we're, the year is 2022.
Yeah, but you qualified in 2021.
You know what? Honestly, we can leave it to user
of the 2020X season.
2020X. I like that. It is season 2021. Okay, chat, come on, you're not supposed to agree with Egman.
Careful, I've got your mute button right above my finger. I can change it anytime.
All right, chat. I see how this is.
All right, but doing some shuffling, and once again, in a sense where this is a 50-50 best case for both players, Chungman only just needs that 1 more win.
Yeah, definitely the winner of game 1 has a lot of momentum for the rest of the set. You could say that the winner of game 2, assuming that Brent Sosa ends up winning, has a mental edge going to game 3, but definitely having a little bit of that safety net gives you a lot of relief if you are in Chungman's position.
It just means that you can brick and you can go to another game where, if you see a brick in the hands of Brent, then you're in just a bad, you are, something that I find is that once I get a brick, it's, obviously the hand is bad, but mentally I'm just like, oh, this stinks. Puts me in a really foul mood and doesn't let me, think of the outs from those hands sometimes.
I mean, yeah, I think just in general, in competitive tournament settings, mental fortitude and mental edge is one of the most important things to have. And, if you let losses get to you, then the rest of your day is probably not going to go super hot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
So you would say that Brent would want to go second.
I think Brent is wanting to go second. I think Brent will go second.
Okay.
That is my prediction. Hi, Zoo Hair. I love you too, buddy. But yeah, I think Brent will go second. I could be very wrong. I think I've been the most wrong about my predictions today. But we'll see if my future ability starts kicking in.
Yeah, well, since I've been on the stream, I think you are 0-1, so we'll see. But you did say Chungman was the your favorite for this match, and currently he is up 1-0. So.
Oh, Kim, hey Albert, I love you too, buddy. All right, but all right. So yep, all right. Brent Sosa ends up going second.
All right,
the future has been read, ladies and gentlemen. I am back.
Ooh. Playing the Gabu passing
and
3.
Yep, there it is. Setting Brent Sosa up to the 3 memory threshold, just like we were talking about. Okay, and we will digivolve into BT6 Gabumon. Okay.
Which means he's already off to a better start than last game because he did have a rookie.
Yep,
but then
Davis again. A better start. Oh, wow. Losing. Okay. Well, that confirms 1 Kokaitis Breath will now go to the bottom of the deck, which is very unfortunate for Brent Sosa because that is one of the few ways you can actually deter Gabubond in the Gabubond mirror.
Yeah, but you're not on short supply if they don't have their Betamon out too. There are a lot of security effects that can proc.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Ice Wall, a lot of Hammer Sparks, and anything along those lines. Do your Gabumon impression since it's a Gabumon mirror. I don't know if my Gabumon impression is good over Discord. I don't know. I think I have a pretty good one in person. Specifically, only when I say the phrase "Blue Blaster."
Yeah, this is the finals in the bracket. So this is the bracket now. We have made it. We are the bracket now.
Yeah. Also, Karar,
there's
I
another
love you,
Kakar's
kinda.
breath.
Yeah,
Right
the
there.
His breath bouncing back. Oh man. Now, is that a desperation play? Do you think? Oh yeah, that's
That's
security. Wasn't
security.
it?
Yeah, it was security.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I thought it was from hand. Yeah. All right. Is that better or is that worse?
There's 2 bodies versus 0 right now. So, but you do have the memory to start playing some more. Okay, Howling.
Oh, there's the Howling Memory Boost. Yeah, I'm gonna strip a little bit underneath Kendo Garurumon. I'd imagine you would stun the Kendo Garurumon as well.
And it just means that you're getting 1 less search off the Gabumon inherit as well. And if you hardcast something like you did here, it just means you are denying 2 draws next turn, which is nice.
And the Tamer Searcher Gabumon is able to find Matt.
I definitely saw a lot of that promo Gabumon when BT6 came out, but it's now more of, I think, like a 2 or 3
right
now.
So my philosophy about that promo Gabumon and what I've been saying for a while is at some point you hit what we call the diminishing returns. Right after the first Gabumon, after the second Gabumon, do you really need the third and fourth?
Yeah, it's really only good to, like, if you can't find your first one, to like hard look for it. But yeah, once you find more and more of these tamers, there's less of those hits for you to actually do.
Yeah. Oh, he hits the mat off the security. Very fortunate for Brent and Sosa. That's a really great card to see, you want to see.
Yeah,
and
but
of course
he did get another Kendo Garurumon out, so he did get that bounce back to the hand, and that's pretty unfortunate for, once again, no bodies on board right now.
Right, but could we potentially see a hybrid lethal situation coming up?
Maybe not this next turn though.
Yeah, and of course not this next turn, but we will set up the BT6 Gabumon, so we are primed and ready coming in forward. And of course, that is not to say that Chungman cannot go for his own Gabumon in this position if you were to be able to go to 3 memory with, Hammer Spark.
And I don't think we've seen any, ice walls played between either player. Most have just been gone to, bottom deck and stuff. So that is the, another defensive option this deck does have for it.
Yeah, I think if I were the shoes of Brent Sosa, I'd look to set up lethal for the following turn. You have the Howling Memory Boost. You have guaranteed 4 memory at the next turn. So that's 6 memory total. So that is a guaranteed bond into Lobo combo with 1 Hammer Spark. You can extend even further than that and go for double hybrid in that position.
Yeah, the only thing that that Howling Memory Boost can be stunned if they play a Betamon next turn too, and I don't know. Something I do like is that there are a lot of flexible cards that both these decks run that can get in front of each other and can have that stun. So it's a lot of back and forth.
Right. Yeah, I definitely do think that mirrors in general, no matter what card game you're playing, mirrors in general really just boil down to a little bit more luck than if you weren't facing the mirror.
Sure.
So definitely Lady Luck is going to be smiling on one of these competitors today.
And looks like they popped it early just to, once again, I'm guessing because they don't want it to be stuck behind a beta. And we'll see a Gabumon be played and maybe a second card be played just to pass 1 back over.
Right, and if he were to do that, then he technically would set up lethal. Albeit Kendo Garurumon is just going to end up bouncing back these level 3s anyway. Kendo Garurumon being very excellent in this mirror.
Yeah, so maybe you put did he bounce a Kendo Garurumon back to hand? Because you could Digivolve on top of that Gabu, pass 1 still, and you have a body that they can't get rid of. Ooh,
we will see Octomon. Potentially we will see an Octomon into an Ice Wall.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Show us the...
Yeah,
there it is. All right, Ice Wall Gaming Chat. Here we are. Don't you just love Ice Wall, Eggman?
I like it at a quantity of 1.
Really? I like it at 0.
1 or less. I'll update. I'll correct myself.
All right, Eggman, I gotta ask you, where do we feel on HPD? Is HPD fine as... Should it be a 4-up, a 1-up, or a 0-up?
I'm not sure.
Depending on your answer, we may or may not be friends after this stream. Also, the Octomon could not swing because Gabubond was just played that turn.
Yes, wait, which Gabumon can't swing?
The one on the board for Brent Sosa.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
one-
yeah,
the-
yeah. He
yeah,
hard
the- the
cast.
was.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
Mhm.
the other one just got Puno raising. I don't know. Maybe I don't think one is too many. I mean, one is not too many.
Mhm.
I don't know. Would they ever do something to two? I don't know. The thing is, green's not existent, right? So it's hard to say if changing it back to 4 will make it, do anything or just do too much of one thing.
So my opinion on that card is I think HPD is probably it's in the same boat as where MDF is, where it's just overall a poorly designed card that inhibits future card design. So whenever we print a new green card, it has to be balanced around HPD, and that really restricts the kind of liberty and freedom that you can do as a card game designer. We've tested a lot of green in future formats, and HPD is still just a super sacky one of card. Where you see the HPD, you're just gonna blow your opponent out of the water. Green is absolutely fine. It's very much so coherent without HPD in future formats. Honestly, in BT7, you rely a lot less on HPD than you realize.
Yeah, well, I will agree. Yeah, zero cost option cards are a lot of trouble, right? Jack Razor's being, Hammer Spark, Mega Digimon Fusion, the first banned card this game knows is zero cost, right? You have to be really careful when balancing that, and I think you are right that it does limit future design, and it's difficult when
is that an ice wall again?
It is a second ice wall.
Is that an ice wall again?
Oh my goodness! We do get the stun on the Octomon with the Howling Memory Boost too, but that is another ice wall right there. And not having the Davis Tamer means you are losing a lot of memory kind of advantage because of these one memory passes.
But yeah, I think just in general, the memory system in Digimon is very, very excellent. But the cards that are easily the most broken are the cards that don't actually abide by the memory system. They're way too efficient for how low they cost. HPD, Mega Digimon Fusion, Ice Wall. These are all 1-0 cost options that just do way too much for how little they actually cost.
Yeah, and I mean that's why Lilithmon is able to be a coherent deck, right? It takes advantage of a lot of these cheap resources and gaining memory back to do a lot of damage, build a giant board, just do a lot. It's a Swiss Army knife once you get the loot going.
Somebody mentioned Blinding Ray. Yeah, I think Blinding Ray is not a very well designed card. I think Blinding Ray should have had a cost.
When I first saw it, I'm like, man, this card stinks. It doesn't have a security effect. Why doesn't it have the same as? And now I'm like, oh, thank goodness it doesn't. Like that, it'd be from great to busted.
All right, but looking back at the game, it is I don't think an ice wall went down from Brent Sosa, so maybe finally time for Jungman to go onto the offense. He has 3 memory, he has the Gabumon BT6, and he has the Matt Ishida, so we may
There's an ice wall.
to see. There's an ice wall. He played another ice wall.
It's right there in the discard. You said it. You said ice wall number 2.
Oh, I thought the turn passed already.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, we're still on the same turn.
Yep, he popped the Howling Memory Boost to go from 1 to 3.
Oh, he popped the memory boost. Okay, I didn't see it. I didn't see the memory boost, man. Oh, but Chung Man's gonna play his own ice. Oh my god, how many ice walls is that now? What, 3? 3 in this game?
3 have been played. I don't recall how many have been put to bomb deck yet. All right.
Oh, we're on 4. We're on 4 ice walls actually.
Yeah, 4.
Chat.
All right. Oh,
was that
another ice wall? There we go.
An ice wall got revealed from security. 5 ice walls. Chat. This is peak North American entertainment. Ice wall, baby.
Yeah. So I mean, I hate to say it, you have to find your 4th one to have a chance at surviving next turn. You have Matt out. You have a couple swings on board. Octomon can swing over the Kendo, and maybe. I don't know. It's very tough from here because you have a lot of swings. You have the bond potential next turn. It really does look like Chungman's in a pretty good spot.
Have you ever watched Video Game Donkey? You ever watched that, Egman?
We can talk about it later.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying there is a quote from a certain game. A little bit of ice is nice, and I think that's really applying here. The game starts with a K and ends with a K.
Thoughts. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do the raise, get the 2 memory off the Tamer, draw 2.
But yeah, so I mean, This might just be this might have to just be a bond angle, right?
I mean, you get like 2 swings though, and you go down to 1 security though. That seems bad.
Oh wait, no, you're right. Ice Wall's under play. I forgot. My bad.
Just always assume it. All right,
Just
that's what
always
this
assume Ice Wall's on
finals
the
is
board.
about.
Honestly, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ah, what was I thinking? I'm so silly, Eggman. Of course, there's an Ice Wall under play. But yeah, honestly, even then, I definitely do think that this game is pretty close for the most part, right? Like, it's really hard to say whether or not either player has a clear advantage. Octomon is going to swing and kill one of the Kendo Garurumons.
I don't know. I think Chungman has the board. He has security, and
so?
he has potential lethal for this next turn.
Okay. So what if, and it's a crazy idea, but what if there's another Ice Wall?
It would be the 4th one. So we
It
are
would
strictly
be the
out,
elusive 4th.
and I strictly can't recall if one has been set to bottom this game.
Could you imagine that?
Oh my goodness!
Was
I
that
can
a 4th
imagine.
Ice Wall? Oh, ha! Did Brent just cast another Ice Wall? Was that the 4th Ice Wall?
That he is ice walled out.
He is officially out of Ice Walls.
Man, if Ice Wall wasn't getting banned, limited to 1 after this, I can only imagine designers watching these games like, yeah, maybe we should probably do something like.
Now this is where Chungman hits Brent Sosa with his own Ice Wall.
Oh, that is crazy.
For the 7th Ice Wall in the game. No, chat. We're on what? 6 Ice Walls now. We're on 6 Ice Walls.
I think that's 7. 4 from him
now?
and 3 from Chungman. At least 6. I'll say at least 6.
Yeah, 6 walls have been seen so far. Yeah. Oh, the Forbidden Trident. Remember that tech I was talking about, Eggman?
You sure did. You did say it.
It's appeared. It has appeared. Both Gabubonds are getting sent back to the Shadow Realm.
And the Forbidden Trident only send. I mean, you lose 2 memory. They get gone. Octomon stays because he's the homie. You're taking the swing in though. And what do you see? Oh, you gained the extra DP, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, you do gain extra DP. So it is plus 2,000 DP. So actually, Kendo does beat over Octomon, unironically.
Oh my gosh, that is too powerful to be kept alive.
Okay, now I think it's Chungman's game. Yeah, definitely that Forbidden Trident actually just sealed it.
And okay, if we see another Ice Wall, we're calling judges quick. Am I right?
If there's a 5th Ice Wall, we stop the game immediately.
Yeah.
Let the record be shown. Forbidden Trident won North American Nationals.
Forbidden Trident piloted by Chugman. I'll say that.
Somebody asked for you to put Forbidden Trident on screen.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Also, yeah, definitely don't think that the Gabubond should have came out of raising. I definitely think that was unfortunately a misplay over on Brent Sosa's part. But I don't think he anticipated the Trident either, so...
I mean, we do have the knowledge of these deck lists, right? These are both known to both players, so they could know existed, but it is a one of.
It is a one of.
And Ice Wall is a 4 of, and you saw all of those. So you saw 100% of your Tridents and 100% of your Ice Walls.
Mathematically, statistically, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, Chungman only runs a single Trident, and it has managed to come up right there and bail, get him out of that situation, because that means Bond is going to be delayed for another turn.
Okay, swing in, hitting the... Interesting that he decided to let the Betamon live, just because, I guess you're only relying on Hammer Sparks at this point. There's no Ice Walls left in security, but if you get rid of Betamon, that could potentially keep the, swinging the turn back over to you.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't seen all the Hammer Sparks out of Brent Sosa's hand yet, so potentially that may just come back up. But Gabumon is going to come onto the board. They will pass over 3 memories, so that is enough to go for the Bond. But if you do Bond, then... well, actually, no, Betamon's on the board, so you can't hit Hammer Spark in security to bail you out.
Yep, so, if you swing one at a time, Breath would be a bad hit. We saw, I think, one go to the bomb deck earlier in this game. It might have been the previous.
We did see one Breath go down. Yeah, it should be Lobo for game.
Yeah, Lobo or Kendo, depending on a hybrid for
Right.
game. Yeah.
Right, just a hybrid for game. Yes.
But, there are ways that you just do that and you lose though, right? This is literally for the North American Championship, right? If you win this right now, you have won first, right? So a lot of pressure. You've been playing for 20 hours over 2 days. We will see what they decide to do, because once again, if you hit a card that makes it so you can't end the game, you pretty much are going to have to, like, there is lethal on the other board with that Gabu and cards that are over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, swing in first, hitting a Gabu. All right.
Is that? Yeah, it's Gabu. Kendo is going in next. That does bounce the Gabu back. Reveals Lobo. It's not enough. Right.
And as long as there's a hybrid in hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
And show the hybrid in hand. Yep.
Lobo for game. Nice job.
Chungman ends up winning the North American Nationals.
Nice job. Yeah, this is our champion for the 2021 to 2020 year, Chungman with Gabubond. And also, big shout outs to also Sosa for his second place. Both of these will be representing the North America region for the Worlds this season. Congratulations.
Damn it.